a fan of. All them, I got Santa. All that. Gonna do just what I say. Pull up, pass the Uber in that race. She so bad, but she said. I feel guilty, I might as well just plead my case. I say, Lord, be my savior when it come to getting this paper. Please protect me from my haters. Just say me and I won't save her. Say amen. Yeah. Bad boys and they can't win. Check. Going up. We in it, we gonna. Going up. Did it like my persona. Going up.
Thank you, Larry. It's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look live there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. Today, the curtain falls on the regular season, and we've got a good one in store between the New York Jets and the Philadelphia Eagles. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. This is Marlon Mack. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21. Second down, 9 yards to go. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage.
Let's go! Green 39!
On second down, here's Simeon. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jalen Mills. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD. And the defense could not have written a much better script than that first drive, pick-6.
The offense never got a chance to really get oiled up there, did they? But the defense, they certainly got in gear. What a big-time play and a great way for them to start.
And now the offense, they've got to turn things around and figure this out because your backs are on the ground real quickly.
Yeah, usually when you're starting the game, getting the ball, 0-0 is the only score you're worried about. Now the second time you get it, you're already down a touchdown.
He juked him, and now running right through him. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. And New York set to take the field. And, partner, let me make a quick pivot here. Season winding down. They're number 32 in offense this year. The last in the league. Where do they go?
Anywhere and everywhere. But they have to do it with a plan. And I think about Atlanta a bunch of years ago. They decided they wanted to get what they thought was going to be a franchise quarterback. And, indeed, he is, Matt Ryan. But they had to supplement it. They went free agency, got a running back. Came back and traded back into the first round in the same draft to get a left tackle to protect him. Really supplemented that pick, complemented that pick, and went to the playoffs the very next year.
So maybe they can use that and carbon copy it. Staying on the ground with Mack. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third.
Well, forget about finding a lane there. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Probably fortunate he was able to hold on to the football.
Throwing on third down, Simeon. Rush coming, and he's taken down. I know some of the talk after last week's loss was the O-line struggles. They gave up 4 sacks. He got hit here and taken down again, so that's something to monitor.
It is something to monitor, but they've got to help their offensive line out. Maybe a little bit different play calling, right? Draws, screens, get the ball out of the quarterback's hands quicker, maybe some quick game passes. All of that to try and help slow down the pass rush and make things easier on their offensive line.
Nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. First carry for Leonard Fournette. And he takes this one down all the way near the 30. A big hitter there. A first down gain of 26 yards. A lot of running backs, a little bit of a disadvantage when you start talking MVP. Might not be the case this year. You think he's got a shot, don't you?
I do. I think he's got more than a shot. But what he's going to need here down the stretch this late in the season, he needs that big closing game, that game that we're all going to reflect on and go, oh, my goodness, did he put up a number, let's say 200 plus?
A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Wentz to throw on second down. And this one's incomplete. Robbie Anderson, the man he was looking for. And it's 3rd and short. And the offense looking to pick up the first down after the second down incompletion. They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And not going to be able to push this forward. He runs into a wall right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. They'll go with a big bank Fournette. And he is not going anywhere. They stop him for no gain. Leonard Fournette stops short of the marker on 4th down. And the Jets are going to get the football back. And defensively, they were ready for that, a full-on blitz on 4th down, and they stop him short of the marker.
Oh, someone's got to feel really good about that, and that's the defensive coordinator. He dialed up a great run blitz defense, and they hit it just right. Stack that thing up. They're going to feel awesome going to the bench after that big play.
Big boys down there in the trenches, and a nice play to stop them cold. Nothing there.
Yeah, when you talk about big boys, you're talking about those defensive tackles, those nose tackles. They're not just big, they're immense. And what a big-time play there.
Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. Give him 9 on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
They go play action here on 1st down. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. And, you know, he may not have the franchise tag, but I bet they're relieved to have that deal done, keep him around.
And he's a good guy, a valuable player to them, and they wanted to make sure they had him around. Good team chemistry. Always hard to find, and when you've got it, you don't want to let it get away.
Now Simeon. Caught left side, Bennett. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Now this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach, because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you've got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you've got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board. So let's see if it changes a little bit if they're in the same spot again.
Yeah, we'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Flushed out right. And he whips that one incomplete there. The running back, Leonard Fournette, his intended receiver. And it's 2nd down.
Well, they're slinging it. And then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown out of his reach and incomplete. Now a play fake. Wentz. Escaping the pressure right. And he is going to go down. They sack him on the final play of the 1st quarter. Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. Wentz going to throw. Eluding the pressure right. Room here to run. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Now they'll throw it. Wentz. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. They fake the give. Now Wentz. They'll let it go deep for Beckham. Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Working from the gun. Wentz. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Beckham, his 19th touchdown now on the season. And the Eagles add 6 to their lead.
The defense is doing their best, but they're struggling right now. They'll look for some help from their own offense to keep them in the game.
Wentz to throw again. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Tried to roll out, make a play outside of the pocket, but couldn't get it done.
When you don't have a lot of space for your receivers to operate, and down there it's really condensed when you're snapping the ball from the 2-yard line, rolling out, you extend the play, but you don't necessarily open up better avenues for people. And on that play, there's just nowhere to go.
And New York set to take the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
They keep it on the ground. Mack again. And he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line. Only a gain of a couple there. That leaves him needing about 7 here on 3rd down.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far. And after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. From the gun on 3rd, Simeon. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
I think the training and practice broke down on that play because he simply didn't run the route deep enough to get to the 1st down marker, despite what was a really nice catch and toe tap on the sideline.
Well, that's 3rd down 101. You got to go to the marker, know where it is. Beckham, the return. A good return there, 17 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Odell Beckham now marching back onto the field. He's doing what he's capable of, having a solid game. Not the most amazing game. He's not over 100 yards, but a good game so far.
And you just know that mentally, he feels like he's one catch away from turning it into a great game and starting on that road. And the defenders are well aware of that, too. They've got to figure out a way to not let that escalate. Keep him right in this zone here and call it a day, because otherwise he can really decimate them.
Better believe they are well aware of his playmaking ability. offense now on first down. He's going to look deep down the field. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. Offense still needing 10 yards. Second down. Wentz. Hauled in by Anderson, left side. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. On third down, Fournette. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. It's good for a gain of 7, but still a few inches short here with fourth down coming up. They'll run for it with Fournette. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. 4 yards on the pickup, and they're able to convert here on 4th and inches. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We'll come back to Philadelphia after this. A reminder that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll check in with Larry Ridley in Orlando with highlights and analysis of this first half of play.
And I'm going to check in with a heater.
I'm going to be right there with you, partner. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Nelson Aguilar, the intended receiver. That'll bring up second down.
I know it's hard to see inside the face mask of the defender right now, but I'm willing to guess that there's a nice little grin on his face, because to make that type of a play downfield, you wonder if you're going to be able to make it. You know that if you don't make it, it's a big play that you're giving up. But when you do bat the ball away and you come back and you embrace your teammates, that's a lot of momentum you're bringing back to the huddle. Now you feel like they can't complete anything when they don't hit deep shots.
The Eagles on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. From the gun, it's Wentz. Found his target, it's Anderson. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a first down.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And he'll take this one down inside the 5 to the 3. It'll be a 3-yard pickup, and it brings up 2nd and goal. They'll try to punch it in with Fournette. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. No gain on the play there. They're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal. Here's Fournette. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
There are certain drives in the game where anything less than a touchdown that caps it feels like an absolute disappointment. This is one of those drives.
They converted once earlier on this opening drive, but now comes a big test. 4th and goal. They'll send Beckham alone to the left side. Throwing now is Wentz. And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. Odell Beckham with touchdown number 20 on the year. And the Eagles add on to their lead.
Heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Elliott now to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Jet offense about to take over as they head out onto the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Now a carry from Mack. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. And the Eagles are going to go ahead and take another timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. On third down, it's Mack. No gain on the play there. Nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. Here's Lachlan Edwards now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Here's Beckham. And he goes out of bounds across the 40-yard line. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. Throwing on first is Wentz. Steps away to his left. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. They'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's second down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
And they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the first half. A final shot before half for Wentz. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. So no update from Larry after 17 weeks. Folks are saying, let's get on with the show. So we'll oblige as we get you set for the second half kickoff. This is taken at the 3. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Eagles offense making their way back out as we take a look at the playoff picture in the NFC. And you can see by the X next to their name, they have clinched the NFC East already. For the moment, though, they would host a wild card game in round 1, Charles.
And for me, it brings back memories of how tough it is to win this division, because when I was a kid, there used to be a thing called the NFC Central that was known as the black and blue division. Everyone called it that because of how hard it was to win it. I think that's been transposed into the NFC East. I mean, trying to win that division and being able to get there, it's quite an accomplishment.
Again, it's Fournette. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. He lost 2 there, and it's third down. Fournette running right. They find some open field here. He's at the 40, the 20. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A great play there. His 26th touchdown, drawing even with Marshall Faulk for the 4th most in a single season. And the Eagles add 6 to their lead. And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
And break out your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up significantly, right? Big-time jaunt all the way to the end zone.
Elliott now to kick this one away. And that one carries out of the side of the end zone here, so it's a touchback and bring it out to the 25. Here's the Jets offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that. Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him. I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
On third down, it's Mack. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
From the 50, it's Simeon. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. That's number 4. Sack number 4. They had 4 last week, so he's been down on the ground a lot.
Partner, they say the eye in the sky does not lie. And that's indeed the case because they watched the game tape from the previous week, incorporated it into their own defensive scheme, and continued to get after this quarterback.
And now this defense will be searching for sack number 5. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down. The Jets on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Out of the gun, Simeon. And Jones has it over the middle. And the stiff arm made it a pretty little run. Not a huge gain, but a nice chunk of yardage. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down. And until that point, we haven't seen Julio Jones. That's hard to believe here this late in the game.
And no one more frustrated than Julio Jones because receivers feed off of catches. That's their fuel, and that's also their affirmation. And he hasn't been getting much of that in this game, and their team is losing, and he wants to have a better effect on the game.
Just the first connection, Ryan to Jones there. Here's Carson Wentz now with the rest of his offensive unit heading onto the field. He's been a good game manager. They're winning here in the 3rd quarter, but really the ground game is where it's been at for them, hasn't it?
So whatever the game plan was, you just got to focus on continuing to run the football. And really that takes the pressure off of the guy throwing it around. Doesn't have to be the focal point. Hand it off, let him chew up the yardage in big plays, and your team's winning. The only people upset, the fantasy guys who may have started him at quarterback in their leagues.
And we'll see if they continue with the recipe of the ground game. That burst good for 20 and a 1st down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. On 1st down, Wentz. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. But one thing's for sure, they're still taking their shots downfield, even with a big lead.
No, I think it's way too early to go into a shell, so I like what they're doing. Continue to take your shots. Continue to be aggressive. It's not their job to slow themselves down.
Wentz again here on 2nd and 10. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
The Eagles on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 10. Wentz now to throw. He's going to go for a big play downfield. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jeff Heath. And a great return as he takes us up just shy of the 45. And they needed to a break. They needed to make a play here in the third quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break. Taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
A run by Mack to start the drive. Oh, that's just not fair, and now room to run. And he'll take this all the way down to the 15-yard line. Big yardage that time for the Jets. 42 yards on the ground. And a guy that can change the game shows you a glimpse of it right there, taking the ball down inside the red zone.
It just tells you how tough it is for a defense. You just hold on all game and essentially hold your breath. Will they break a big one on us at any point during the game? It just happened right there. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
So if I'm an offensive coordinator, there's one thing that I know for sure. This is one of the top 5 teams in the NFL against the run. So when I look at my playlist, I'm probably thinking about throwing it. I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
And Lutz's kick is good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And the Eagles hands team able to cover it up. The 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of an anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
On 2nd down, here's Wentz. Over the middle to Beckham. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. Wentz going to try and throw on 3rd. He finds Beckham complete. And he picks up the 1st before he's taken down at the 29. The gain of 4 that time as the drive continues. Fournette, a 1st down carry. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
And there's a nice stop for the defense. They've had a tough time containing this guy all game long, but maybe they can build a little bit off of that play, a little bit of confidence, a little bit of momentum. Yeah, every now and then you can actually tackle that guy.
A good pickup there at 22. They'll try the right side here with Fournette. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. That's going to go as a loss of 7, and it'll set them back for 2nd down. And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. Now Wentz throwing on 2nd down. And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. Muhammad Wilkerson in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
2nd goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
To throw, it's Wentz being chased out left. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down. The offense stays out there. A big challenge here from this far back, but they're going for it on 4th and goal. Here's a give to Fournette. And he will not even make it back to the line of scrimmage. The Eagles unable to convert there on fourth. And the Jets are going to get the football back. So they were really trying to put the nail in the coffin there already with this lead here in the fourth. But they didn't get it.
Guaranteed, it's not going to be a fun handshake in the postgame, right? You just know that there's going to be some bad blood there. And I know if we go to the postgame press conferences, the winning coach, you know what he's going to say, why he did it? We need the points, okay? Because you never know at the end of the year if points are going to come into the tiebreaker if we're trying to get into the playoffs. That's always the standard justification.
All right, here we go. 51, Mike. Mike 51. Right here.
Here's Simeon now on second down. Caught on the right side by Jones. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Time for a break. So it's Jets football as we get you reset here. They're looking at second down now as they search for a consolation score.
All right, here we go.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Bryant with a catch right side. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. The Jet passing game in rhythm. They've got another first. On first down, it's Simeon. It's caught by Bryant. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route, the drag, and being able to run away from defenders. Hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone, and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down.
Partner, I know that play didn't work very well, but an old New York Giants quarterback taught me a lesson a long time ago. Sometimes running the draw actually takes courage and play call.
And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. Martellus Bennett, his first touchdown on the year. And the Jets are able to cut into this deficit.
The tight end position has always been dangerous, especially in the red zone, short field. But now even more so because these tight ends aren't necessarily the tight ends of old. They're the rocked-up wide receivers who have a little bit more speed. Way harder to cover than before.
And the Eagles dodge a bullet. They cover it up. Now they're down big here in the fourth. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And it'll be second and 12. They'll run it again with Fournette. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. 1 yard officially on the pickup, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 11.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
And now a whistle and a timeout called by the kicking team. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. Running left, it's Fournette, and he won't get there. They stop him a few yards short of the line to gain. The Eagles unable to convert there on 4th, and the Jets are going to get the football back. So we were looking at each other up here in the booth when they went for that saying, oh, wow, talk about trying to add insult to injury.
Some teams are just like that. You know, some philosophies, some coaches are like, look, when I got a chance to put some more points on the board, I don't care what the situation, I'm going to do it. And they're also the same coaches as a general rule that if someone does it to them, you won't hear people protest out of them. That's just who they are.
Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play.
Blitz coming, and and down he goes. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this third and long play as we'll get a timeout. As the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go. Simeon. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Desperation time for Simeon on fourth. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And that'll be just about all she wrote for this one. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
And with just inside of 10 seconds to go, they'll burn their final timeout. 9 seconds left. On second down, here's Fournette. And some room to work. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. That's good for 21 yards and a first down. And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for Philadelphia, a final win here means they'll finish at 14-2. And now they'll have the week off as they get set to go after a Super Bowl title. Meanwhile, for the Jets, they'll limp to the finish line with